Hello my dear students, myself Meenu Srivastava and today we are going to discuss about the production of vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is also known as cyanocobalamin, but before starting the topic, I want to inform you that in the Telegram channel, if you are joining that in the Telegram channel, all the informations are uploading. Just listen my point. All the informations are uploading, that what videos are coming on the YouTube, what kind of the notes are uploading in the YouTube description. That link you will find in the YouTube video description, but the information you will collect from that Telegram channel. That's why I am telling you to join my Telegram channel for daily updating, that what kind of the videos and what are the notes are uploading on the regular basis. Okay, so and one more thing, that all the units I want to cover in the both language. This experiment I have started from the 5th unit, and from the 5th unit I have started the English discussion. Okay, and one by one we will complete from unit 1st to unit 4th. All the lectures I will also upload in the English language as well as. So don't think that I will delete the Hindi videos. That will I am not going to delete, but simultaneous with the Hindi language, simultaneously I will upload the English language videos also, so that all the students can get benefited. Okay, without wasting time and without doing any bakwas, we will start that vitamin B12. Okay, production of vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is also termed as the cyanocobalamin. The cyanocobalamin word represent cyanide and cobalt. Okay, so that two things are very much important. Okay, cyanide group, addition of cyanide group and addition of cobalt group. Here I want to discuss about the classification of vitamin. There are so many vitamins, have you heard in your duration, in your studied period, in your books also. Vitamin are mainly classified on the basis of solubility: fat soluble vitamin and water soluble vitamin. In the fat soluble vitamin, only 4 types of vitamins are included: vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. And except these 4 vitamins, all the other vitamins comes under the category of water soluble vitamin, like vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin Q, vitamin vitamin B, and then parts of the vitamin B like vitamin B1, B2, B5, B6, B12. There are so many types of the vitamin which comes under the category of water soluble. So vitamin B12 is also under the category of water solubility. Okay, and the term we can say the synonym of the vitamin B12 is the cyanocobalamin. The vitamin B12 or cyanocobalamin, it is important cofactor for the DNA synthesis, amino acid and fatty acid metabolism. Okay, vitamin B12, we can say it's important in the development and maturation of RBCs, red blood corpuscles in the bone marrow. The blood cells are formed in the bone marrow. So during the formation of red blood cells, the vitamin B12 is very much essential. Otherwise, the patient will suffer from pernicious anemia. Okay. What is the pernicious anemia? It is the deficiency disorder of vitamin B12. Okay. Now, the empirical formula. It's not a molecular formula. It's an empirical formula. You should be very much concerned about the empirical formula. Empirical formula is the simplified or the simple ratio of the molecular formula. So, here we have written here the empirical formula: C63H19 N14 O14 PCO. You can retain in your brain, otherwise you can omit out this empirical formula if you are thinking that's too hard. Okay, just for knowledge I have written here. The structure of cyanocobalamin is mainly consists with the corrin ring. In the corrin ring, the 4 pyrrole ring. So I'm not drawing here the 4 pyrrole ring. I'm just draw any just 4. This is the 4 pyrrole rings. These 4 pyrrole rings. Suppose that these are the 4 pyrrole rings. These 4 pyrrole rings combinedly we can say the corrin ring. And these 4 pyrrole rings attach with the central cobalt atom. Here the central cobalt atom attach with these 4 pyrrole rings, and combinedly these 4 pyrrole rings are named as the corrin ring. Okay. Now come to the microorganism part. The microorganisms are different types of the microorganism which we are utilizing here for the production of vitamin B12. But mainly the Pseudomonas species, the Streptomyces species and the Propionibacterium species are mainly used for this production. Here different kinds of the microorganism I have written here, like Pseudomonas denitrificans, Propionibacterium, Friedenrechi, okay, Propionibacterium shermani, Streptomyces griseus, Streptomyces olivaceus, Bacillus megaterium, Bacillus coagulans, okay, Pseudomonas denitrificans also. Okay, so in the vitamin B12 production, we will include both species, like first species is the Propionibacterium species and second is the Streptomyces species. Because I think that both species, or in some books prefer that Propionibacterium, in some books prefer that Streptomyces species. So I want to include the both species, that what procedures are included in both type. Okay. Here the production of Propionibacterium species. The Propionibacterium species are both type here, which we are preferring, that Propionibacterium Friedenrechi and the Propionibacterium shermani. Okay, so Propionibacterium species production is the microorganism Propionibacterium is the Friedenrechi and the Propionibacterium shermani. These both species we are preferring. Here the medium is the glucose, corn step and means corn step liquor, that is B10, and the cobalt. Cobalt salt is essential. And if you are thinking, then where the cyanide comes from? The cyanide treatment we will do in the recovery process. After that, the cyanide will attach with the cobalamine. Okay. Now the pH which we have to maintain, this is the 7.5 and the temperature is the 30 degrees Celsius. First I want to firstly I want to convey that please subscribe and please share with your friends, because in my channel I am doing no time pass, nothing, because totally we are targeting on the studies. So if you are thinking that any kind of advantage if you are getting from my channel, please share with your friends. Okay, I am requesting you, please share with your friends, because sir is teaching, as in the biochemistry, sir is teaching in the biochemistry and I am taking the biotech, and further we will jump on the other subjects also. But if you are regular seeing my video, regular watching my videos, then on my videos I am doing nothing bakwas, and even sir also doing nothing bakwas. Okay, because the some are just doing this and doing this time pass. We are totally concerning about the studies. Okay, and the quality material we will provide you, or we want to provide you. Okay, for if you are thinking, then please subscribe my channel and please share with your friends also. Thank you. Now here the production is occurring in the two phases. The two phases are aerobic phase and anaerobic phase. First phase is anaerobic phase and second phase is the aerobic phase. But if we are thinking that what kind of the fermentation process proceed in the production is the submerged fermentation process. We have already discussed about the submerged fermentation. Okay, submerged means the microbial species or the microbial strain is embedded in the medium. So here in the medium, the microorganism proceed with the two phases, anaerobic phase and the aerobic phase. As the name stands for the anaerobic, anaerobic means there is no oxygen, no aeration. Okay, nothing oxygen here. So it's a preliminary phase, means it's the first phase, and it takes 2 to 4 days. After completing this phase, the 5-deoxyadenosine cobinamide is formed. Okay, but in the second phase, when the aeration is provided, here we have to write the aeration is provided. Okay, for aeration means we have to provide the oxygen. Okay, so for 4 days to produce pseudocobalamin. Okay, means after 4 days, when the oxygen is provided during the aerobic phase, the pseudocobalamin is formed. But the recovery process, in the recovery process, we will treat this chemical or this substance with the help of cyanide, so that we can complete the cyanocobalamin production. In the recovery process, first thing, this pseudocobalamin, pseudo means false. What the pseudo word represent? Pseudo means false. Okay, pseudo means false, means it imitates like cobalamin, but it doesn't like cobalamin. Means it has some property of the cyanocobalamin like vitamin B12, but it has some lacking of the properties, so it is known as the pseudocobalamin. Okay, so for completing this procedure, we have to go for the recovery process. Here the pseudocobalamin is bound to the cell, so to remove or to release from the cell, we have to provide the heat treatment. In the heat treatment, the 80 to 120 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes at the pH of 6.5 to 8.5 we have to provide. Now after heat treatment, the centrifugation is done to removing the cell or microbial strain. Okay, after centrifugation, the acid treatment is done. Okay, means the acid is treated, or the liquid or the solvent, whatever after filtration, we can say the filtrate. Okay, we can say the filtrate. Filtrate is treated with acidic. Okay, filtrate is treated with acid, so it is known as the acid treatment. After acid treatment, add the cyanide. Okay, add the cyanide. Cyanide group, I think you know, it's a CN group. It's a CN group. And cyanide addition, the cyanocobalamin, it's formed, but it is in the liquid. The cyanocobalamin is formed, but it is in the liquid. So to remove the other impurities or other color products which are not at all required, so after cyanocobalamin production, we have to go for the adsorption chromatography on the resin IRC50. Here that red color on IRC50 resin. Okay, it is a type of adsorption chromatography resin on which the adsorption has been proceeded. Okay, so here the adsorption chromatography is done, and for the adsorption chromatography, what kind of the resins we have taken, that is the IRC50. There is no sufficient place, so I have written here. After completing that absorption chromatography, we will treat with the phenolic solution. I think for the pharmacy students, you will very well known about the phenol. Phenol means the benzene ring contain the hydroxyl group. So this, after adsorption chromatography, we will proceed or eluted with the phenolic solution. Okay, after the phenolic treatment, the cyanocobalamin comes in that solvent, and that solvent form, after this solvent, we have to evaporate procedure, or we have to evaporate the other solvent so that we can get the cyanocobalamin crystals. So for the receiving the cyanocobalamin crystal, we have to proceed the evaporation procedure so that we can get the cyanocobalamin crystal. Here we have completed the cyanocobalamin or vitamin B12 production from the Propionibacterium species. Now we will discuss the vitamin B12 production from the Streptomyces species. Okay, then we will complete our vitamin B12. So here I am trying to involve or include both species like Propionibacterium species as well as the Streptomyces species, so that you can get the knowledge from that, what kind of the procedure will be applied on the Streptomyces species and what kind of the procedure applied on the that Propionibacterium species. Okay, after that we will complete our vitamin B12. Okay, so without delay we will start our vitamin B12 or cyanocobalamin production from the Streptomyces species. Now we are going to start the production of vitamin B12 with the help of Streptomyces olivaceous species. Okay, Streptomyces, in the production of Streptomyces olivaceous species, first we have to perform the inoculum preparation. For the inoculum preparation, we have to take the Bennett agar medium, and in the Bennett agar medium composition are as follows. Here yeast extract amount is the 1 gram per liter, beef extract is the 1 gram per liter, the casein hydrolysis is the 2 gram per liter, and the glucose 10 gram per liter, agar 15 gram for the solidification of the media, and here we have to take the distilled water. DW represent the distilled water is the 1000 ml, and we have to maintain the pH 7.5, 7.3. In that preparation, the Streptomyces olivaceous slant culturing is prepared. Slant culturing means the culture in the test tubes in the slanting manner. First we have to put the media and let it solidified, and the test tube keep in the slanting position. So the medium will solidifying in the slanting position, and after the slanting culture of the Streptomyces olivaceous, it is inoculated in the Erlenmeyer flask, which contain the inoculum medium also in the 100 to 250 ml concentration. Okay, I think you are understanding my point, what I am explaining, that the slant culture of the Streptomyces olivaceous is prepared, and in the Erlenmeyer flask the inoculum medium is contained and the concentration is 100 to 250 ml, and this slant culture is transferred into the Erlenmeyer flask. Now the seeded flask is incubated on the mechanical shaker to aerate. For providing the aeration, we have to keep this flask on the mechanical shaker. Okay, now we have to go for the production, and the production medium contain the distiller solubles. Distilled soluble is the 4%. Distiller soluble are the component which contain the carbohydrate and protein in an appropriate amount. Okay, here the dextrose is the 0.5 to 1%, calcium carbonate 0.5%, cobalt chloride. Okay, any kind of the cobalt salts we can use here. Its amount is 0.5 to 10 ppm. The ppm is the parts per million, and the pH we have to maintain the 7. But during the production medium, during the production of the vitamin B12, the pH will go to in the acidic side, means it will optimize at the pH 5. Okay, so during the production we will see that how the pH will fluctuate. Okay, now come to the sterilization of the media. We have to perform the two type of the sterilization. First is the batch wise sterilization, and second is the continuous sterilization. In the batch wise sterilization, for 1 hour the 250 Fahrenheit is treated, and in the continuous sterilization the 33 Fahrenheit for the 30 minutes. Okay, now the temperature during the fermentation we have to maintain the 80 Fahrenheit, and the pH. Here I have written here the initial pH fall first 24 hours, but after 2 to 4 days the pH rises and it will maintain up to the pH 5, because the mycelium will degrade. Mycelium is what? The Streptomyces olivaceous species. Okay, and for maintaining the pH we will utilize or use that here the sulfuric acid or the sodium sulfate. Okay, now the aeration is the 0.5 ppm. Okay, ppm I have explained that volume of the air and volume of the flask per minute. Okay, now air, to sterilize the air is passing through the columns filled with the activated charcoal. Okay, now the air sterilization we have explained in the sterilization point, okay, in the sterilization video. So you will go through with that video and you will get the complete knowledge about the sterilization of air. Here I have explained that the air is sterilized by passing through the column filled with the activated charcoal. Here different kind of the antifoaming agents which we are using, like soybean oil, corn oil, lard oil and the silicones. For the recovery, after that production completion, we have to perform the recovery process, and for the recovery first we have to do the filtration. After the filtration, the filtrate is collected and the filtrate is treated with cyanide, so we will get the cyanocobalamin. After cyanocobalamin treated, it is absorbed through the agent on the adsorbing agent which were packed in the column. Okay, what I am saying that this cyanocobalamin is treated with the adsorption column, and the adsorption columns have the different kind of adsorbing agent. Now the cyanocobalamin is eluted then by the adding of sodium cyanide and sodium thiocyanide. Here the cyanocobalamin is extracted from alcoholic solution. Here different kind of alcohols also treated, and after the alcoholic preparation, the sodium cyanide and sodium thiocyanate is treated. Okay, after this, the cyanocobalamin is then extracted from the alcoholic solution by using phenol, cresol, or we can use the mixture of benzene, butanol or CCl4. With the CCl4 or with the benzene and butanol, we can use the CCl4. CCl4 is the carbon tetrachloride, or we can use the CHCl3. CHCl3, I have written it clearly. CHCl3. CHCl3 is the chloroform, okay, which is an anesthetic agent. Okay. Now, for precipitation and crystallization, we have to perform the evaporation. Okay, in the evaporation procedure, it is diluted with an appropriate solvent, and different kinds of appropriate reagents like paracrysols is treated. Okay, means for precipitation and crystallization, we have to treat or we have to interact with the paracrysol. To remove the impurities, means there are different kinds of the impurities. If the solution contain different, to remove the impurities, we will treat the calcium hydroxide and the zinc hydroxide. So, after the treatment, receive pure vitamin B12, we have to perform the chromatography on the activated alumina. Okay, on the activated alumina, adsorption chromatography is performed, and after this the elution is done with the acetic acid and methanol mixture. Okay, because in the adsorption chromatography we have to perform the elution also. Okay, and so for elution we have to do the acetic acid and methanol mixture, and the final precipitation is done with the help of ether. Okay, so final precipitation is done with the help of ether. So we have completed the vitamin B12 or cyanocobalamin production by the propionobacterium species as well as the streptomyces species also. I hope you have enjoyed my lecture. Otherwise, be safe, be safe. If you have any kind of, before that, be safe. If you have any kind of the doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Otherwise, please like, share and subscribe, and be safe, stay healthy. Thank you.